Bello, and welcome to TUTV. I'm Anderson Bell.
And I'm Bruce Bigler. This week, Greek tragedy takes over the LPC, and the longest government shutdown in history is affecting healthcare and food security in Oklahoma.
Our top story tonight, the Buccaneer, a popular bar just off campus, was swarmed by police in an age verification sweep on October 30th. Officers arrived around 1 a.m. shortly before the bar's closing and had patrons exit to check identification. No arrests have been reported, but several patrons were sent away for, quote, evidently not meeting the 21 and older requirement, according to police. Students inside the bar described the process as chaotic. Quote, people were panicking, friends were separated, phones were out. It was like the whole night stopped, one anonymous student said. The sweep occurred the eve of Halloween, a historically busy night for the bar. While addressing the legitimate concerns of underage drinking and business accountability, some students raised questions about the timing of such operations and the procedures involved. Some suggested sweeps like these have a damaging effect on trust between students and local law enforcement, considering the large TU customer base at the Buccaneer. Local authorities have not yet released details regarding the incident. TUTV will continue providing updates on this story as they become available.
Despite TU no longer having a theater major, creative theater is alive and well on campus thanks to a student-run theater club. TUTV reporter Benton Raymer brings us a story.
This weekend, TU Theater Union, TU's student-led theater group, put on their rendition of the Greek tragedy Oedipus the King. The show ran for 2 days in the Lorton Performance Center and brought in over 500 students, families, and members of the community.
It felt like the audience was really receptive. There were times that they were laughing, that I was like, this is a tragedy, and I don't know that we should be laughing, but it's kind of, there's a lot of irony that people can see, and I think that's why they laughed.
I feel like both shows went well, especially considering there were several times throughout the building of the performance that we felt we were a bit behind. But in the last week, everyone really stepped up and made 2 shows that the audience really enjoyed and that we all felt went very well.
Many of the members of the cast who participated in theater in high school are thankful that they have an opportunity to continue to perform in college.
Yeah, I started theater when I was 7 years old, I think. That was my first play. I was Gretel in Hansel and Gretel. But I love everything about the arts. My favorite part of theater is musical theater. I love singing and I love expressing myself too. I think that's what a lot of people will tell you.
Playing the lead of the show was a lot of fun, especially with this character. It's always enjoyable to play a character that goes crazy at some point in the show, and this show is no exception to that. Crawling around on my knees and scaring the other people on stage was a great time.
TU Theater Union has announced plans to produce a musical in the spring, but has not yet announced what it is or when it will be. This would mark the first musical performed by TU students since Cabaret, the final musical produced by TU's theater department before it was cut in 2022. For TUTV, I'm Benton Raymer with Reese Wood.
On Saturday, Council Oak Park, just east of the Arkansas River, was officially returned to the Muskogee Nation. Reporter Roma Carter has the story.
Tatiana Duncan, George Petros, Misfogalagi Lagi, Aldawe Kusari, Nogosagi Doa.
This part of the region. Here, the towering Council Oak was looking over the Arkansas River, and it was thought to be 200 years old when the Lochaboga first came.
November 1st, 2025 is a very special day because the Muskogee Nation just received land back officially from the city of Tulsa. Both the city of Tulsa and Muskogee Creek Nation voted in early October for this restitution of land.
It is official. Yes, thank you. Thank you to our tribal leaders, Chief, Second Chief.
My name is Mo Brinks Plenty. I'm a Lakota and I'm a ceremonial person for my family.
Beautiful. What is the significance of this event for you?
You know, it's everything. And hopefully this inspires not just other city councils throughout the country, but us as American Indian people to wake up and remember who we are and get back to who we are. You know, we have to always make them tough decisions. We always have to continuously always knock at doors and never give up. You know, if this country had done nothing but try to eliminate those languages. But thank goodness our languages are still here. We got to hear the Muskogee Hill with us today. You got to hear the Lakota language. I mean, so languages are still there to forget about the original inhabitants and always push them aside, they're pushing God aside as well. We as Indian people, we also have to remember who we are as well and get back to the understanding that God is the one who loves diversity. And the reason why I say that is because it's evidence and proof. I mean, you look around, there's so many different species of trees all standing side by side and helping each other out, encouraging each other. So we have to do the same as people. And so I have to remain true to who I am, regardless of the trials and tribulations that I face, the racism that I go through and experience, but at the hands of other people. And so we all have to do that as people. And there is a higher power. It is about our spiritual destiny. It is about the destiny of our souls. So we have to always be awake to that.
For TUTV, I'm Roma Curry.
Hospitals in Oklahoma are now required to publicly post their prices for common services, including the cash price, the negotiated insurance rate minimums and maximums, and a billing code for each service. This comes under Senate Bill 889, which took effect on November 1st. Under the law, hospitals that fail to comply will be barred from collecting medical debt for their services until they meet the transparency requirements. Supporters say the legislation empowers patients, noting wide price discrepancies, such as one patient paying $1,200, while another paid $12,000 for the same procedure. At a recent press conference, Governor Kevin Stitt called the law a common sense for consumers. A new website has been launched to help Oklahoma residents find hospital prices. Visit oklahomahospitalprices.org to learn more.
National reductions to food aid has led the Cherokee Nation to declare a state of emergency. People receiving SNAP benefits and living within the Cherokee Reservation will receive a one-time payment of $185 each for a total of $4.5 million spent. The tribe will also invest $1.25 million towards regional food banks and nonprofit food security organizations to serve both tribal citizens and non-tribal residents. More than 680,000 Oklahomans have been affected by a one-half reduction in SNAP benefits because of the ongoing government shutdown. State leaders, including tribal officials and members of the Legislative Black Caucus, are pushing for a special legislative session to fill the gap in food assistance with state funds, but no financial commitments have been made so far. Well, with that news, Bruce, I think it's important to highlight to our viewers that, you can do a lot of things to help your neighbors in need, such as volunteering at the Food Bank of Eastern Oklahoma, Iron Gate Food Pantry, your local church, any sort of outreach organization. So I want to encourage viewers to do that.
Yeah, whether you're in need of resources, know that those are available. And if you have the time and opportunity, going to serve your community members is an incredible way to do that as well. Still to come, TU students start gearing up for the spring semester.
Plus, our weekly TUTV weather report. We'll be back after this.
What's up, TUTV? It's Avery Vick. And today, we're exploring Gypsy Coffee House in downtown Tulsa. So, let's get into it.
Hey guys, it's Matthew. I'm here at Gypsy Coffee House downtown. Me and Avery just came here, and this is literally my favorite place in Tulsa to get coffee or just hang out or study or anything. They have the best drinks, they have the best customer service, they have the best ambiance and environment in Tulsa. It's downtown, check it out. There's always good parking unless it's the weekend and there's an event, but it's worth it if you have to walk a block or two to get here. Everything's great. It's the best place in Tulsa, Gypsy Coffee House, and it's a 5 stars for me. I love Gypsy Coffee House. So,
Truman, this is my 3rd or 4th time in Gypsy. I originally showed up here with my dear friend Caroline upon her invitation, and it's just how you described it. It's a place where you can sit down and chat and feel like you can have an open conversation. There's something about the atmosphere of this place that appeals to our age, appeals to the novelty of putting something out here. And then even just, hearing, guitarists, piano players, different musicians come along and just try and liven the room. It just encourages, the idea that you can come in here when you're figuring things out. It's a place to figure things out with other people. And
I'm Caroline. I've been coming here since I was in high school. I forgot how I first found out about Gypsy, but I think I was invited by some other people as well. I used to come here all the time, but since I moved out of the country, of course, I haven't been able to come as often. But every time I come back to visit, this is where I love to meet my friends here. So
check out Gypsy Coffee House TU. See you next time.
Welcome back to TUTV. My name is Zach Edwards.
And my name is Reese Wood, and we're glad you can join us this evening.
On Sunday, the International Space Station celebrated 25 years of continuous human habitation. The ISS has become a symbol for international cooperation since its first ever mission, which saw 2 Russians and 1 American spend 5 months aboard. Since then, astronauts from 26 countries have visited the station. NASA plans to decommission the station in 2030, burning it up into the atmosphere to make way for new missions to the Moon and Mars. American strikes on boats in the Caribbean Sea and Pacific Ocean violate international human rights law, according to the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. At least 65 people have been killed in these strikes so far, which the U.S. government claims target drug trafficking from South America. President Donald Trump threatened to go to war with Nigeria last week, citing the country's alleged prosecution of Christians. Trump claimed that Nigerian Christians are facing mass slaughter and has threatened fast and vicious action if the Nigerian government doesn't step in. And Christians and Muslims have experienced prejudice in Nigeria in the past, but leaders cautioned against military action by the United States, which would likely destabilize the country further.
This past summer, the Tulsa Flyer moved into the 101 Archer Building with the goal of furthering collaboration with UTulsa students and programs. This week, Trey Williams brings his report on the free local news organization.
The Tulsa Flyer opened its website this week, operating out of 101 Archer. It has hired over 20 journalists and even taken over the historic Oklahoma Eagle newspaper to expand its reach.
So, overarching, the Tulsa Flyer is here to provide good, free, in-depth coverage that connects the dots and that serves communities that may not necessarily have seen themselves in the media before. So what we want to do is we want to take the best of deep coverage and the best of free and combine them. Because if you want to know what's happening at Union, or if you want to know what's happening in those public schools or with your city government, you shouldn't have to pay $20 a month for it, and you should be able to have some expertise associated with that.
The team plans to be visible in the community, attending city hall meetings, school board sessions, and even neighborhood events, so you don't miss any story. One initiative that they have implemented is a documentaries program, which pays residents to attend and report on public meetings. So far, 50 Tulsans have been signed up and trained to be citizen reporters reporting on school boards and neighborhood events. The focus is on what the team calls intensely local journalism, covering issues that directly affect neighborhoods. Early coverage includes reports on school discipline, housing and healthcare resources, and even a behind-the-scenes look at Tulsa's film scene.
We're pretty transparent. We're pretty open. If you have a question, if you think we do something badly, email us, connect@tulsaflyer.org or at the Eagle, connect@thebokeagle.org, or text us. Because we can't and we shouldn't exist in a vacuum, right? We're here to be a voice for the community, so we need to hear from the community.
For TUTV, I'm Trey Williams.
In the world of sports, TU women's volleyball is making big waves. Captain Beth Bayless joins us to discuss the team's progress this season in our weekly special guest segment.
Hello and welcome to TUTV. I'm Bruce Bigler, here today with Beth Bayless, one of the captains of the TU women's volleyball team, as well as an outstanding senior. Beth, we're so happy to have you here today. Thanks for coming on to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So if you wouldn't mind, start off just by telling us a little bit about your journey here at TU, how you ended up here, what it's been like the past few years.
Yeah, totally. I actually started out my career at OU, playing volleyball there, and then I hopped in the portal at the end of my first semester freshman year. Did not plan on doing that at all, but I'm so glad I did.
But you upgraded to
TU. I totally upgraded. I think so. My coach got here. She was hired here December of 2022, started in January of 2023, and then that's whenever she brought me in. And I've been at TU ever since, and it's been an awesome journey. I've loved it.
So cool. Well, tell us a little bit about the dynamics on the team this year, the vision that you've been trying to cast, and how things have been going.
Yeah, we have such a special team this year. My coach has been talking about building a conference winning program ever since she got here 3 years ago. And I think we've just been building up our culture and the kind of volleyball we want to play. She's taught me a lot about volleyball, so much. And
that's
then
her job,
we have,
so.
that's her job, I guess. And we just have the people this year who are totally bought in. We talk about commitment, love, and excellence all the time. Those are our 3 things. And we, have a newer squad. Only 4 of us returned from last year.
Out of 14?
Out of 16, I think.
16, okay, wow.
Yeah, and we just, ever since everyone came together in the spring, we've had something special, and we love playing together, we love the game, and it's just been a lot of fun this season.
Yeah, that's so neat. Tell us about some of your favorite memories from the season, some standout moments. There have been plenty.
It's been a wonderful season. I've loved it. Probably my favorite memory of all is beating OU, which is where I used to go. It was really fun because we got reverse sweep the 2 years before, but we beat them this year, which is lots of fun. We also beat Wichita State at Wichita State for the first time since 1980 something.
Oh my goodness.
And then beat them at home also. And then this team just makes it so fun. Like, it doesn't feel like work at all. It feels just like a team having fun, a big family. So
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is your plan and your vision for the rest of this semester?
Yeah, we have 2 weeks left of regular conference games. We just clinched the conference tournament, which is awesome, and we are hoping to go win that. That'll be the week before Thanksgiving. We'll have to win a couple games to get there and be playing good volleyball. But I think
where is the conference tournament?
That's going to be at USF in Florida. Yep.
Gotcha. Is that where you guys were this weekend as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be back.
You'll be back. That's awesome. Better than ever, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, totally.
Well, where can TU students come watch you guys next? When are you playing? Who are you playing?
Yeah, we're playing Friday against Charlotte, and then Sunday against ECU, both at home. I think Friday's at 6, Sunday's at 1.
Awesome.
And we have a worship night after our Friday game because we just want to get people involved in worship. I'm also involved in FCA here. So yeah, it'll be a good time.
That's so neat. I love that the FCA and volleyball are coming together to put that on, share what you guys care about. That's super neat, super exciting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today, Beth.
Thank you.
We are very proud of the volleyball team.
Thanks.
We feel like it is holding TU sports together.
Oh yeah.
It's the most exciting thing that we have by far. So thank you guys. We're rooting for you. Wish you the best. And like I said, thank you so much for being here, Beth.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you guys for tuning in today at TUTV.
The University of Tulsa has officially opened enrollment for the spring 2026 semester. The enrollment window is a designated period for students to plan their schedules and secure necessary courses before the start of the spring term. Academic advisors are reminding students to double-check their degree plans and meet with their advising team earlier this year to prevent last-minute enrollment stress. The Center for Academic Advising announced that registration appointments are filling up quickly. First-year and transfer students are encouraged to check for registration holds, review their financial aid packages, and verify that all advising requirements are completed before registering for the spring classes. The University of Tulsa will continue sending reminders and updates through the enrollment window.
With various activities rushing us throughout the fall, we will now take a moment to slow down and look at the more musical side of TU's campus. TUTV reporter Caitlin Stotts visits the Symphony Orchestra.
On Monday, October 27th, the TU Symphony Orchestra held a concert in the Lorton Performance Center. A large crowd of students, parents, and supportive community members filled the auditorium for the performance. The group played a collection of music named Autumn Dreams and were conducted by Richard Wagner, Director of Instrumental Ensembles. William Reinhardt is a sophomore at TU and plays the cello in the orchestra.
I really like this orchestra because it's just a hobby of mine and it allows me to continue playing even though I'm not a music major. I major in cybersecurity. It's really convenient for me. And I also get a scholarship for playing here, but our concerts are really nice. We play really challenging music and it really showcases our effort that we put into it and our skills like on stage.
The concert, which featured many soloists, consisted of 5 different pieces and was concluded with a standing ovation from the crowd. For TUTV, I'm Caitlin Stotts.
Well, Reese, I heard that you were in the production of Oedipus. Tell me a little bit about that.
It was a great experience. I played Creon, And we had a fantastic crowd, great reception, got to see a lot of family and friends. They came to the show. All the actors are extremely talented. It was great, and I look forward to working with the TU Theater Union more.
I literally can't wait myself. Still to come, our new segment Spotlight, TU Professors.
Plus, sports correspondent Andrew Griffin takes a look at TU's baseball teams. We'll be back after this.
Hi, and welcome back to your TUTV weather. Starting off now with our 7-day forecast. Things are going to be staying warm this week, climbing slightly as we get into Thursday. There's a chance Thursday afternoon that we actually break 80 degrees again, which feels crazy for mid-November, but that's just where we're at right now. Getting into this weekend, Saturday is going to be warm in the low 70s yet again. However, we will have a cold front pushing through the area that night, bringing us to the low 50s by Sunday, dropping even further into the upper 40s by Monday. Tuesday will be warming up again slightly, but that's going to be it for this week, and that is all we have for this week's weather. Come back next week. I've been Carter Reed.
Wow, hearing about that weather is actually crazy. 80 sounds insane.
That is way too hot for me. Welcome back to the desk. I'm Hendrik Dubois.
And I'm still Zach Edwards. We have some great campus stories this week, so let's jump right in. Interested in what is being filmed in Oklahoma? TUTV reporter Chelsea Hinojosa takes a look at a heartwarming comedy on the horizon.
Today, I got to interview Sydney Allison and Khadija Aluatoyan about their upcoming film, Tierra and Her Ngungun.
Hi, my name is Sydney Allison. I'm a producer and an actor based in Tulsa.
Hi, my name is Khadija Aluatoyan, and I am the writer and director of Tiara and Her Ngungun, our upcoming short film. And it's basically about the journey one explores or goes on when she's proud to be American, but now she's coming into this new culture and the sensations that one will go through, learning about their ancestry later on in life and trying to incorporate that ancestry into their identity and just form community around it.
I'm really excited to be working with Khadija to help bring her vision to life. We're actually crowdfunding. We're raising money for the film. Our budget is $6,200, so we're just trying to raise money to pay our cast and crew and pay for costumes and makeup and locations and all those fun things.
If you'd like to find out more information, you can copy this link right here, or if you'd like to contribute, you can scan one of these 2 QR codes to donate.
For TUTV, I'm Chelsea Hinojosa.
Last week, professional film editor and TU alum Daniel Tarr visited campus and provided an editing masterclass for film studies students. TUTV reporter Tony Scardino sat down with Tarr to examine the world of Oklahoma independent filmmaking.
My name is Daniel Tarr. I am a former film student of Tulsa University. I graduated in 2010, and I immediately went into the film world here in Oklahoma. I started working for a film production here in Bartlesville that shot a movie, and then they followed that over to Austin, where I started working on whatever projects that I could possibly get into until I fell into editing. And now I'm a full-time editor and post supervisor in Austin, Texas. I always found that fascinated with the idea of having your visuals, the stories that you had in your mind, and be able to actualize them. The ability to be able to go see the final product of what you've made in front of an audience of unknown people. There's a satisfaction that is extremely unique.
Daniel has worked with award-winning creators like Terrence Malick, Javier Bardem, and Robert Pattinson, and he's just getting started.
I would tremendously love if I was able to remain in Oklahoma. It's been my dream to have film be able to be part of a thriving community here in Oklahoma. I think that you have to make those opportunities here. And as long as you're able to cultivate the community and find the investment, it's possible.
Daniel's words of positivity and wisdom are already helping to build on the growing film community here in Tulsa by positively influencing film studies students like Yasmin Inge.
And the reason why I'm here is to learn more about film, because I'm hoping that in the future that I would be like in the film industry, maybe help with like editing. So actually being here and even going on the workshop was helpful because it taught me a lot more about like Premiere Pro because I'm not really a pro at that. But it taught me a lot and hopefully will push me to be able to make more projects for myself.
For TUTV, I'm Tony Scardino.
Movie night with Kane Careers invited students to come and chill and watch Legally Blonde. Reporter Jody Hollins has the story.
Wednesday, October 29th, Kane Careers had a movie night where students watched Legally Blonde, studied for classes, and enjoyed free snacks.
It's happening here in the alcove, which is located on the second floor of the Student Union. It's just a fun little event for students to come and chill. We have free snacks. It's a study opportunity, and it's an opportunity to show that Kane Careers offers chill events like this one, among all the other helpful informational events that Kane Careers does as well.
I spoke with the director of Kane Careers, Kristen Farrell, who discussed the importance of more laid-back events like this one, as they provide experiential learning similar to the other services Kane Careers also provides.
Well, Kane Careers in general is going to be a great place to find resources for career readiness, work on your resume, cover letters, and watching fun movies is one part of that. You get to see some of this experiential learning in action.
For TUTV, I'm Jody Hollins.
Our new segment, Professor Profiles, takes a look at TU professors and the fascinating work they do. This week, Emily Mays spoke to Adjunct Professor of Psychology, Amy Renshaw.
Sure. Should I look at you or should I look over there?
It really doesn't matter.
Okay. Fun fact. So some fun TU related facts is that I met my best friend, or kind of our family best friends, on the first day of college orientation when I was here as an undergrad. And I actually met my husband at Twin South, and we got engaged in the stairwell at Twin South. We've been married for 16 years, I think. So I have a long history here at TU, and I'm excited to be back teaching as a professor.
Professor Renshaw got into teaching at the college level despite not having a PhD by simply asking TU if she could come teach.
In lesson around don't be the first person to tell you no, let someone else tell you no, because I could have just as easily said, well, there's no way they'll let me do that because I don't have a PhD. But instead I thought, well, the worst that could happen is they say no, but I might as well ask, and here we are now.
Professor Renshaw defines for us IO psychology, her main field of study.
IO psychology stands for Industrial Organizational Psychology, and it's basically a fancy way of saying the psychology of work.
Her professional career outside of teaching includes working with nonprofits in the Tulsa area to develop their leadership skills. She likes to help minorities such as women and people from different places or cultures find their leadership potential through studies and workshops.
And so for those folks, it can bring up a lot of fears and doubts when they step into a leadership role and they look around them and they say, I don't see very many leaders who look like me, who share my identities, who I can kind of look to as a mentor or role model.
The highlight of her career has been working to support the BEST program, which is a part of the George Kaiser Family Foundation. She's built development programs to allow their nonprofit leaders to grow in a highly debated field.
Who are doing really important work in a very challenging time.
For TUTV, I'm Emily Myers.
Now, let's turn it over to sports correspondent Andrew Griffin for his preview of this year's TU basketball season.
Thank you, Hendrix. A storm is brewing in Tulsa. Both the men's and women's Golden Hurricane basketball squads are reloaded and ready to make waves in the American Athletic Conference. Let's start with the men. Head coach Eric Conco's group is bringing a brand new look this season, including transfers and high upside freshmen. That fresh energy was on full display last night as the Golden Hurricane opened the season with a commanding 100-57 win over Oklahoma Christian, highlighted by balanced scoring and a relentless pace on both ends of the floor. This season, keep your eyes on Aide Papula, a smooth two-way guard who can score from anywhere on the floor. Tylen Riley adds toughness on the wing, while Romad Dean and Terrence Ford Jr. bring leadership and experience. Tulsa wants to play fast, shoot the three, and defend with energy. But chemistry will be the key, especially with the challenging conference slate that includes showdowns against Memphis, SMU, and Wichita State. If this group gels early, Tulsa could be one of the most improved teams in the conference. Now, don't sleep on the women's team. Head coach Angie Nope has built a culture of consistency, and this year, she's got the depth to compete with anyone. 6'4" Riley Graves anchors the paint, while Maddie Cartwright and Jade Clack give Tulsa firepower from the perimeter. Add in talented freshmen Gina Piriak and Alicia Peavy, this team's got balance, length, and a little international flair. Their defense is physical and their tempo is quick. Both programs share one mission: protect the Reynolds Center and bring postseason basketball back to Tulsa. So whether it's the men pushing pace or the women locking down opponents, one thing's for sure: the Golden Hurricane are ready to make some noise in 2025. Buckle up, Tulsa fans. The storm is about to hit. For sports, I'm Andrew Griffin. Back to the desk.
Gotta love basketball. I personally am super excited for this year's Kane basketball. So let's see what you have to feel about it.
I missed this first basketball game, but I am really excited to go to the ones in the future. They sound like they're going to be really fun.
Yeah, I heard they were giving out free jerseys, and personally, if they do that again, I don't want to miss out on that. But in other news of basketball, Thunder 7-0. Let's go. All right, that's it for us here at TUTV, but we'll see you next week. Thanks.